The other day, I took one of my favorite cookbooks recipes for hummus, not my stores, and made hummus two ways with it. One using freshly soaked, boiled, and peeled chickpeas, and the other with just canned chickpeas. I am so happy that when I originally filmed this video, it got completely messed up and I couldn't use my original footage. When I made the hummus, I really liked the canned chickpea hummus batch better. But as the hummus chilled and sat overnight, it changed. The fresh chickpea batch got insanely smooth. The flavors came together and every bite just completely blew me away. Before I tell you why, the recipe is really simple. I'll put it in the description, but basically I started off by soaking a cup of chickpeas in cold water overnight. I strained the liquid the next day and I saved it just in case I wanted to mix it back into my hummus if it was too thick. Now you can see here that the fresh chickpeas have far of a lighter color than the canned ones, and the canned ones have a little bit of a funky smell. I boiled only a cup of the cooked chickpeas in a couple cups of water and a pinch of baking soda and let them simmer. And then while they were simmering, I skimmed off the foam that was collecting, and I knew they were done because I finally lost my patience. When it was done boiling, I strained it and I took off the skins that were easy to take off, but I didn't stress over getting all of it. Now, the recipe called for a cup of chickpeas, and here we have two containers, one for the fresh one and one for the canned chickpea batch. So for each cup of chickpeas, I'm using a half a cup of tahini, but because I actually love tahini, I used nearly a cup. I used a teaspoon of salt in each, a half of lemon in each, but obviously add more if you like it more lemony, and a half a clove of garlic in each, but obviously add more if you want that too. And toss in a handful of ice because it's going to make it super creamy. At some point, my food processor seized, and at that point, I knew it was too thick and it needed more of that liquid that I set aside. And that's super important because if you think the hummus is the perfect thickness for you in the food processor, just watch. It's going to get way thicker once it's done. This is partly the reason why it's so worth letting the hummus just chill in the fridge for a day if you've got time. Canned chickpeas have already been sitting in the brine, the salt, the preservatives, so they're just consistent, ready to go. But they also come with that slightly funky sour flavor and give you a chunky consistency. You know which one I'm talking about. But when you boil dried chickpeas, you're not just softening them. You're releasing natural sugars and starches locked deep inside the legume, and when you freshly blend them, that flavor hasn't had enough time to settle and just bloom. Not only just that, but there's little air pockets blocking them from congealing. Now, give fresh chickpeas some time in the fridge so the air leaves and let the lemon, garlic, and tahini come together. The starch gels, the flavors marry, the textures tighten up. It goes from meh to Middle Eastern excellence. So next time you boil your own chickpeas and taste the hummus and it's not what you were expecting, this emoji. Just wait.